It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And I'm back, y'all. So if this is your first time, I think I got this on backwards. Anyway, if this is your first time joining my show, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. I know it was the last minute notification, so I'm going to wait for a couple people to get their notification and log on. In the meanwhile, I'll go through my little sound check and all that stuff. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Is everything going? All right. Dallas said he can hear me. All right. Sorry, guys, about yesterday. As you know, due to YouTube hating on Kev, I had to get back on the grind. And yesterday was just, it was a hectic day. Man, I tell you, they had me out in Bigfoot territory. I'm telling you. I ain't get home to almost time for the show. I was pooped. I was like, I can't go no more. I don't want to do the people a disservice in the condition that I was in. But I literally thought I might see a Bigfoot. That's how far out I was. I was sitting there like I was waiting. I had my cell phone and everything. Like, all right, any second now I'm going to see a Sasquatch. And if I see me a Sasquatch, I'm going to chase him down in those bushes and drag him out by those big feet. I'm sick of people always getting little snippets of the Bigfoot. I'm going to catch Ray Epps, okay? Don't let me see Ray Epps running around out there, okay? But no, on a real tip, I'm fascinated by all those Bigfoot videos. You know, I find myself captured sometime, analyzing them, seeing which ones I could debunk. But some of them, man, I'll be like this. I don't know. That one look kind of... See, here's my thought. How many Bigfoot costumes could there really be? I mean, come on now. All you got to do is just Google Bigfoot costumes. It can't be a plethora of Bigfoot costumes running around out there. So something got to be going on, man. I don't know how many people would invest probably about a good 2 or 3 G's in a Bigfoot costume for a hoax. Because it can't be no raggedy one. You can't go out there, looking like you dressed as Chewbacca for Halloween. Like back in the day. You just get the mask with the rubber band around the back. See, you put Chewbacca's face on. It's a plastic one. You got the rubber band, and it sits on top of the head. And when you go to say trick or treat, you just pull it down. See, you just pull it down. And your whole suit's plastic. It looks like fur, but it's just all plastic. Now, you can't get away with that. You got to go around and get you a real Bigfoot costume, and you got to be about, like somebody said, you got to be about 8 feet tall. You can't be out there mimicking a Bigfoot and you 5'2". Out there talking about some, look at me, I'm a big feet. You better be about, minute bull type tall, be up there pretending you a Bigfoot. And then you might get shot. See, that's the thing. Is it worth the hoax? I don't know about you. I wouldn't be out there parading around just for a hoax. Somebody be like, look here, Earl, we finally got one. It was a hoax. I died pretending I was Bigfoot. I don't know how I got caught up in that whole thing. I started off talking about why I missed yesterday. But, I was tired and they had me out there where, I thought I might have saw Bigfoot. So anyway, I'm just killing time until people start logging on. Now, hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. You know the jazz that they got me under. This number on the screen, 330-972-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, you can stay in the loop. Just in case I miss one day, then you're like, okay, one day is okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we better start inquiring. See, then that's why I can stay in touch with y'all. So please text MAGA to that number. And then also, if you want to, which somebody did just a short time ago, which I thank y'all. But if you want to contribute to the channel, you can also check out my corner store. And you can also contribute to my monthly fundraising link, which is right below this video. And you're welcome to go there and give all that you want to give. Yep, that's right. I'll never put a cap on your giving. Okay, so let's get busy because you know already what I'm going to be talking about. Oh, boy. So let's see here. Let me get loose. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. So that picture right there is perfect right about now because I feel like turning green. I got my green on. I got all my green on. See, I'm matching and everything. So look, bam! I got my green on. Yeah, that's how furious I am right now. I feel like going to war. I feel like painting my face right now. But guys, I already knew that some shenanigans would probably go on because see, in this day and age, we lack people with real courage to do the tough things. Now, what I'm talking about is, of course, the Fanni Willis decision. Boy, I tell you, I mean, we don't have too many Donald Trumps running around there anymore. We don't have too many folks that's willing to take one for the team and say the right thing, even if it costs them. Most people are not built to be able to withstand the type of pressure that would come if they do the right thing. They're probably just, it's kind of like what's the dude that testified and was scared to death after getting out there boasting all over the place about Nathan Wade. Fanni Willis, about Nathan Wade, that guy up there all over the cell phone. Yeah, that they was together. Oh yeah, man, they kicked. Oh wait, let me correct you because they didn't meet there. They met somewhere else. And let me tell you about. Yeah, it was all fun and games until the heat was on him. Then he's up there sweating, rubbing his head, talking about, oh shoot, oh man, okay, I don't even know why I said that and stuff. See, you break down when you feel the pressure on you, when you feel that you got something to lose, and that's why a lot of this corruption in our country is able to take place because powerful people figured out how to break people that might even want to do the right thing. See, it's easy to do the right thing when there's nothing at stake, when there's really no risk, nothing to lose, or, maybe something small to lose. You look at Trump. Trump put it all on the table. That's why I got to ride and die with him. The man has his reputation damaged amongst folks suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. The media despises him, even if he wins this next 4 years and he makes the country the best it has ever been. Whenever they get a chance, they're going to start. He was the worst president ever. And he was, I don't even know how he deceived all these people to follow him. And he'll go down in history as a dictator. They will still try to destroy his memory, his legacy, and all of that stuff because they've committed. They've committed. Trump represents America. He represents the foundation of America, freedom, all of these things, capitalism. And they want to take us in a whole different direction so they could never let him have a wonderful legacy. But guess what? Creepy Sleepy, who's the worst president of all times. If Muhammad Ali was still alive right now, he's the worst of all times. He's the worst. And I guarantee you, he was the best president. He brought us out of a pandemic. They would flip history and try to make Joe look like a hero and Trump look like a zero. And yet Trump is willing to sacrifice all of his time, his reputation, and now his money. I mean, yeah, man, it's easy. You give up a couple $100 or so. But when you're looking at millions and possibly billions of dollars, I mean, that would make the average person think twice. So do you think some of these low-level folks stand a chance when they sitting back like, well, I ain't got money like that? And these folks might, make sure I never work in this city again and all of that stuff. So when it came down to the judge, I was kind of torn as I watched the case, all the evidence, all of even the left-wing fake news was even out there going, it doesn't look good for Fanni Willis. So, she's pretty, this is a bad decision. I can't believe she did that. Even they were out there, talking negatively. They thought it was going all in a particular way. But I reserved a little bit within myself for shenanigans. See, just like this election coming up with Trump and Biden, I'm very positive if nothing happens suspiciously, no cheating, I am very positive, almost 100% sure that Trump will mop the floor with creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. But I always, got my antennas up just in case some shenanigans break off. You can't put it past these people. I don't care how airtight something looks. where you're going, the polls show this, Biden sucks, he can barely talk, he can barely walk, but they always got an ace up their sleeve. And we got to be prepared for that type of stuff. So here we have it. The verdict is in. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that tonight and go from there. Somebody said mentity. That's right. Biden is blew out mentity. Mentity. And they're still out there saying he's sharp as a tack. So let's go ahead and revisit, or now I won't say revisit, but let's go ahead and visit the decision that was made by this cowardly judge. Oh, yeah, put him up. Oh, that's right. I'll fight you with one hand behind my back. He's a cowardly judge. Yeah. Oh, come on, put him up. Oh, smack him on the nose, and there he goes. So let's get into this mess.
Today, the judge in former President Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case has ruled that Fulton County District Attorney Fanni Willis.
Now, before we do that, let me go ahead and increase the volume. Yeah, there we go. Now, let's get back to it.
Can stay on the case as long as Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade steps down.
That's right, but the ruling also...
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is amazing to me. I mean, we're not judges, but all of us were going, she's about to get her butt dusted. You let this arrogant, nasty attitude chick off the hook. So all she got to do is just make a decision that ain't even hard. See, with this decision, she has nothing to lose. She's giving up the man with the broken tallywhacker. That's all she's doing. Didn't say nothing about getting that $600 and something $100,000 back. Didn't say nothing about that. Just all, you just got to get him off the case and then you just move on with your life. That's it. No sacrifice, no penalty, nothing. And we're going to be getting into some of that in a second. Let's go ahead and hear this news take on it.
It means a trial is not likely to happen anytime soon,
Good.
Which itself is a victory for former President Trump.
So that might be the only positive. Now, I hope Fanny gets her butt in more trouble because she done opened up Pandora's box. See, she might have slid because of this raggedy, weak, jellyback judge on this particular situation. But boy, all eyes on her. Do-do, do-do-do, do-do. All eyes on her. So she got a lot of eyes on her right about now. Not to mention, most likely, all of these shenanigans are going to push the case back to a point where it won't matter anyway. But still, even if it fell through, she should never even be able to bring the charges. She should have been kicked off this mug so far. See, this is what I mean. It doesn't matter if somehow it works out for us. The problem is justice is not served. So let's just say, it passes November, Trump wins, and this is all, a big to-do, nothing. I'm mad. Let's just say we beat Joe Biden and get him out of there. If he doesn't pay a price for breaking our border, for all of the crap that he was involved in, I'm still mad. It's not just enough to win, but I also want to see justice restored. Because if we still got a two-tier justice system, or if we still don't have any faith in the justice system, then our country is still in disarray. So it's not good enough for us to say, well, at least they probably won't be able to bring the trial to Trump until after election. But this chick still's walking around. She's still walking around. I don't understand that. So let's go ahead and continue.
Who would like this whole matter pushed until after November's election. Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm kicks off our live team coverage on these breaking developments. A busy morning, Rebecca. Fanni Willis gets to stay on the case, but she is certainly facing a lot of hurdles now in this landmark case.
Yeah, that's right, Rick. You were right. Defense attorneys will most certainly appeal the judge's ruling, which will drag out the case even more.
And how? Not to mention they should introduce new evidence. Like that other prosecutor who overheard her intimidating the witness. Yeah. Now, this judge, you know what? I'll get into the judge in a minute. Let's continue.
But what the judge wrote in his ruling could provide ammunition for outside groups that want Fanni Willis to be punished in other ways. In his order, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, seen here in a previous hearing, acknowledged an appearance of impropriety, but he said he found no actual conflict of interest.
So now, here's what I see right about now with this ruling. All right. He's trying to have it both ways, but he don't have the guts to really pull the trigger. He's trying to straddle the fence. This guy doesn't like Fanni Willis. He doesn't like Nathan Wade. This guy probably wants to see him get the hammer. That's why he left still some room for somebody else to drop the hammer. See, but he ain't got the guts to drop the hammer. It's kind of like know that Joe Biden is guilty of all of these things, but he don't have the guts to drop the hammer. He don't want to pay the consequences with his career and his reputation if he's the one that pulls the trigger. So what does he do? He do the same thing. He presents all of this evidence that everybody sit back licking their chops saying, well, obviously the conclusion is Joe Biden's going to be charged and be guilty. And then he does what Comey did. Got us all excited about Crooked. When he was reading all of that showed she was very careless, reckless. She destroyed laptops. She bleach pitted them. She destroyed Blackberries. There's a high probability classified information was, seen by our enemies. However, and I'm saying, what do you mean, however? You just went ahead and presented the case, and we all see this, and we're saying, what do you mean, however? This shouldn't be a however. And then she walks. Then you get to Joe Biden. Same thing. Joe Biden knew he had classified documents. He shared it with his ghostwriter. He had them in 7 different locations. All of this stuff. And then all of a sudden, however. And I'm saying, what you just said? The man was, how can it be however? Oh, you don't have the guts and courage. So what you're going to do is slightly throw him under the bus, try to save face, and hopefully keep a little bit of your integrity. But without all of your integrity, you have no integrity. A half truth is a whole lie. So now did the same thing. He went ahead, gave us all of this ammunition, and then didn't have the guts to pull the trigger. I got all the ammunition, but I'm not shooting. I'm not firing. Somebody else do it. But he lets you know, based on all of that he don't like what Joe Biden did. But he ain't got the guts to go ahead and pull the trigger. So he did it sneaky. He did it in a way where it's like, well, how else can I really damage him and show that, oh boy, I'm not completely sold out. I'll go ahead, highlight everything he did, and come up with some bull crap about he's too old and too senile to stand trial. Just trying to have it both ways. Same thing with this. Judge looked like he was fair and balanced during the whole trial, gave us some hope, asked some key questions, all of that stuff. But when it came down to it, he's like, oh, crap. All right, I run the risk of being a white nationalist, the liberals showing up at my house. But it's obvious, though, then everybody knows this chick is guilty. She's a liar. She's corrupt. So how are they going to respect me as a judge if I pretend that, nah, she's good to go? So I got to blast her without pulling the trigger. I got to present all the ammunition, but I can't pull that trigger because I don't have the guts for Antifa or Black Lives Matter or Democrats or CNN or MSNBC all throwing me under the bus. I don't have the guts to withstand that type. I'm up for an election coming up, so I gotta figure out a way to try to keep my integrity. But in reality, he's lost the respect of people who would have cheered him on as a hero if he would have said, you know what, let the chips fall where they may, because I cannot insult my intelligence, because that's what it is. He's with this decision, he thinks he's getting away with it and insulting our intelligence. No, you're insulting your own intelligence, because now anybody with common sense will go, okay, so you're supposed to be a judge. Are you that dumb? That's the question. So now either you got to come out like John Jackson, where you're supposed to be this, very prestigious person, this scholar. And then you get in there and buckle to something so simple as a question about what's a man and what's a woman? What's a woman? What? Like what? What you mean what's a woman? Like a what? Well, I'm not a biologist. Now what you're doing is making yourself look stupid. in front of intelligent people. Everybody can see that you didn't have the guts to stand on truth. You buckled. You gave the left what they wanted. You couldn't stand the heat. This guy did the same thing. So now either I got to look at him as stupid because I'm going, did you see the same case that I saw? You're supposed to be a judge. How did you get there? How did you become a judge? This is what I'm wondering. So either you think we're stupid or you're okay with us looking at you as being stupid. One of the two.
With District Attorney Fanni Willis trying to
Somebody said you're my hero, Kevin. Thank
against
you.
Donald Trump and his co-defendants, despite her relationship with Nathan Wade,
Look at
the
him.
special prosecutor she hired to lead the case. In his order, McAfee writes, this finding is by no means an indication that the court condones this tremendous lapse in judgment or the unprofessional manner of the district attorney's testimony during the evidentiary hearing.
Well, look at that. Oh, so he mustered up enough spine to write all of this damning information right here. Yeah. So here I am. If I'm just I'm a casual reader. I'm sitting there. Okay. I see where you're going. That's exactly what I was thinking. And then at the end, you conclude that, you know what? I don't see that there's a conflict of interest.
McAfee did call out Willis for repeatedly making, quote, bad choices, noting that although she can remain on the case, she's not off the hook with other entities like
bad choices like the one you made, Judge Cowardly Lion.
Like the Georgia State Ethics Commission, the State Bar of Georgia, and the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, which have other sets of standards.
And now, guess who else is trying to save some integrity? Kemp then came out and signed some bill to go after prosecutors that are corrupt in Georgia. He should have been signed it. See, this case right here is so obvious that she's corrupt that Kemp got it out. Because remember, Kemp, he hates Trump. He hates Trump. But he also knows that everybody in Georgia that's a conservative is going, you don't see what they're trying to do to Trump? You're not watching this case, Kemp? You're letting this fly? You're pretending like you don't see how corrupt this lady is? Oh, well, let me do something now. You should have been done something soon as they brought the charges. But now you want to sign stuff into legislation and this and that. I mean, it burns me up, man. We got weak, spineless Republicans and conservatives. That judge, he's allegedly appointed by, a conservative. Kemp, I think, appointed him. But what's the good in having, you expect conservative judges to honor the Constitution, to uphold the law, to call balls and strikes, unlike liberal judges who oftentimes, not all perhaps, but oftentimes are activists. Because when liberal governors or liberal politicians nominate judges, they do it with that in mind. They're going, man, we're activists. We're these folks out here trying to push communism, fascism, banana republicanism. We're pushing all of that crap, liberalism. So we got to go ahead and nominate judges that aren't just judges. They're activists. That's why when they get nominated and they go up there on the Capitol and get scrutinized by conservatives in the Senate or in the House, they always look stupid because they don't know stuff. They're asking them simple questions. I'm not familiar with that case. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I didn't read that part. I must say that. Well, because we're not looking for somebody who's a judge that knows everything and knows the Constitution. We're looking for an activist, just like all of the Democrats in the House. You look at Cory Bush and all of them the other day when they were asking questions. And I'm sitting there going, what? How did y'all get in there? The bar is low. Are you an activist? Are you corrupt? And are you progressive? There you go. Are you willing to take one with the team? Yes, you're in. Oh, wait, I forgot. Are you a minority? You're a victim? And if you're not, we'll make it up. We'll make you a victim somehow. Don't worry. We'll make you a victim. So their bar is very low, but our expectation as conservatives is high. When I sit back and I say, man, we're voting for judges, we're voting for senators, we're voting for, congressmen, all of these people, we expect them to do the right thing. And when it's revealed that they're weak and got a jelly spine, it burns me up. So I frankly hope this dude takes it to the chin in his upcoming election. Now, I don't know who's primarying him. I would hope that another conservative judge, but I don't know. But with this decision, he has destroyed his reputation because now he looks stupid and weak. So let's continue. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just a little bothered by this, okay? Here we go.
He writes, reasonable questions about whether the district attorney and her hand-selected lead special assistant district attorney testified untruthfully about the timing of their relationship further underpin the findings.
Okay, so you got reasonable concerns about whether they were untruthful. They were lies. How about that? You got a district attorney who puts people in jail for lying, and she lied in there. Well, I got concerns about whether it was untruthful. Are you kidding me? Everybody knew. Everybody, it's like a joke that, everybody knows it's a joke, but you got to be kidding me. See, I'm trying to respect your intelligence and your position as a judge. And now you're telling me, well, I got suspicions that she might have lied, but you only want to say lied. Untruthfully? Just call it for what it is. Lied.
Of an appearance of impropriety. So, how is Trump's Georgia attorney reacting? Steve Sadow posted a statement that says, in part, we will use all legal options available as we continue to fight to end this case, which should never have been brought in the first place.
Thank you. Should never have been brought in the first place. Now, this chick should be kicked off the case and her whole office removed. And she should be disbarred and brought up on perjury charges and perhaps some other charges as well. But instead, what does she do? All she has to do is just say, okay, Nathan, baby, we made it through this. That was a close one. I don't know what connection she pulled. I don't know what this judge fears, but it's kind of like when the Supreme Court didn't take up the case of election integrity. When Trump was like, let's do it, man. Supreme Court, listen, oh, no, we don't want no parts of that. Because they don't have the guts to make the hard decisions. So now, here's this guy. He leads us to the water and said, don't drink it.
Another thing that we want to mention here, the judge, in his order, practically invites the defense to submit a motion asking him to require Willis to not discuss the case any further in public. So
because he's embarrassed. He don't want her going out there bragging. Now he's talking about, please ask me to make sure she can't talk about the case. Because she's going to go out there just like she walked into court, strutting, sit down, I need this and this and that. See, look, they lying. Just like she did all of that, disrespecting everybody. And now, all of a sudden, he gives her this out, and he don't want her going out there doing what she did the first time. Going into churches, thanks for praying for me, y'all. See, God works in mysterious way. No, corruption intervened somehow, somewhere. I don't know what got to this judge, but my gut was telling me, man, I hope they don't get to him. I kept saying it. I hope they don't get to this judge. Something got to him, but you can tell that he's really conflicted. He's trying to save his career, reputation, or whatever. And he's like leaving doors open for somebody else to do the dirty work. It's like, okay, she did all of this. Yeah, there's questions. I don't want her talking. All of this stuff. Yeah, but you do it. Somebody else do it. Because I don't want to be called a white nationalist. I don't want to be called a racist. I don't want to be looked at as the judge that ruined democracy by throwing her off the case. So he cowered out without trying to look like he was a complete wimp. But he's always going to be a wimp. A whippy.
Fully expect that to happen. We'll be watching.
Yeah, we will.
Office out of the mix. He'd have to reassign this to another set of prosecutors. That would cause...
Oh, yeah. Jonathan, he's about to break it down and give his opinion on what happened. So let me see. They would have to reassign it to... Okay, let's...
Considerable delay. It could also cause the dismissal of the case if those new prosecutors looked at this racketeering theory and said, like many of us, wow, this doesn't really hold together very well.
Yeah. And see, that's what they were trying to avoid. See, because if her butt would have got thrown off, I can't see anybody else corrupt enough and incompetent enough down there to pick up that mess. They done jerry-rigged some type of case together. All the people they done convicted, really, they didn't even get anything out of it. You want me to just admit that I shouldn't have done something that I was in? Okay, well, I'm kind of sorry. Now the charges are going to be dropped if I just... Okay, good. Okay, so there's nothing serious? But yet this is supposed to be a RICO charge, a RICO case, y'all. This right here is saving democracy. All of that. But folks are just let off. She can't even get a real solid conviction. So she pieced this together because of a time frame and sitting back going, man, we got to hurry up. Somebody from the White House. All right, come on now, hurry up. We got to go ahead and convict, indicting now, right now. But we ain't ready. We ain't got no evidence. Look, I know Liz Cheney and all them gave you all the J6 stuff we manufactured. You got that, don't you? Now let's just make this mess happen. We'll figure it out. We'll backdoor engineer the case as we go. So it's a raggedy case to begin with. And I guarantee if she was removed, nobody else would want to touch it. So they got to have her on this case. And Jonathan Twirly is about to psychoanalyze it and break it down.
So this avoided the cliff, but it did not avoid the questions that will inevitably come up.
Oh, yes.
It's like, finding two people in a bank vault and taking one off to jail. I mean,
yes. That's one question I got. Why did the man with the broken tallywhacker got to go, but not her? Why is he guilty and not her? Takes two to tangle. Both of them was out there like dun 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 dun. Both of them was out there tangling. But yet we're disqualifying the male partner. Get him out of here. But you were great, lady. Doesn't work that way.
The question is, the appearance problem that the judge identified with regard to Wade was directly related to his relationship with Willis. They both testified in the same way. They were the two parts of this relationship, and yet
exactly. See, you can't. This wouldn't even be an issue if they weren't together. Wouldn't be an issue. I mean, just think about this, guys. Both of them managed to come up with the same story about cash only. Both of them. How you like that? Oh, she paid me in cash. Oh, did you deposit any of that? But no. So wait, she repaid you in cash only, and you never deposited any. So you don't even have any record of the cash she paid you. I guess I just walked around with a knot in my pocket. Yeah, and she was dropping, like $15,000? That's how much she was projected to have benefited. So where did it all go? Was he just getting big lump sums from Fat Fanny and stuffing it under his pillow? Because maybe his daddy said, it's a black thing, son. You need about at least 6 months of cash under your bed. But yet, somehow, the judge is just saying one must go.
Only one of them was disqualified. And so that's going to lead to these questions. I mean, well, why should Willis escape that same penalty? The opinion leaves us feeling like the court went and shot the wounded.
Yeah,
exactly. It leaves us feeling like the court buckled to the pressure. Buckled to perhaps. See, and here's what's crazy. They don't even really know. So oftentimes when I see people that appears to buckle like this, I say, you don't even know really the outcome if you pull the trigger, if you make the hard choice. You're just probably assuming that, the backlash is going to be horrible. But in reality, oftentimes you'll find that the support for standing up for what's right and having some integrity overwhelms any of the negativity. I mean, when you see people take a stand, the support just rushes in. That's why every time they try to cancel somebody and the person doesn't buckle, all of a sudden the support just comes flooding in. But the ones that I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it, or I retract what, I'm going, oh God, you're one of those. All it takes is somebody to go, boo. So let's finish.
It's a great question. And there is always the question, unfortunately, of politics and the influence of politics potentially on this, because these are elected officials. They are up for election again in May. I believe all of the people involved here are up for, including the judge, up for election in May. So that may be why Judge Scott McAfee wanted to speak on his own behalf before this decision came down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wanted to get ahead of it. Prep the people that I'm about to sell out. Yeah, my spine is wobbly. That's right. I got a jellyfish up my spine. So I'm going to prep them. All right, now, look, I just want everybody to know that I'm making every decision based on the facts. And I'm going, why are you kind of prepping us? Because we already all know what it should be. The answer should be, the response, the verdict should be, get this little built low to the ground chick with that nasty attitude out of here. So I shouldn't hear you coming out. I just want to let you know I didn't do nothing. No, you shouldn't have to say that. Just come out and pull the trigger.
And he spoke with WSB TV, and this is what he said. The message I want to convey is no ruling of mine is ever going to be based on politics.
Here we go.
I'm going to be following.
And that's when you know it's about to be based on politics. When you got to tell the people that it's not based on politics. That's when you know. I want to be clear. That means you're not clear. But I'm going to be honest with you. That means you weren't honest before. Now, you got to go ahead and plant the seed in my head that, hey, what I'm about to say, you definitely have to believe, because now all of a sudden I'm letting you know that I'm going to be honest with you. So you're trying to get ahead of it. So this guy comes out talking about, you know what, I want to be clear. My rulings are based on, not on politics. Now I'm going, why you got to tell us that? Because you know this ruling is going to come across as political. That's why. So you got to go ahead and get ahead of it and prep us for the blow.
In the law, the best I understand it. I just focus on the job I'm doing.
Well, maybe you need to go back to law school, because evidently you don't understand the law. I'm not a lawyer or a judge, and I understood. The facts were there. The case that the defense presented was brilliant. It was beautiful. If I was a juror, even though it wasn't no jury, but if I was a juror and I was listening to that case, I would be like, wow, they really, how can I would be sitting there watching the way Fanni and Nathan was conducting themselves, how fake they looked, how uncomfortable they looked, how they tried to delay, deter, pivot, how Nathan sat there for 60 seconds trying to remember if he ever been to a dang on cabin. Have you ever been to a cabin with Miss Willis? No. Right there. If I'm a juror, I'm sitting there going, what's the delay? What's taking this dude so long? Wait a minute. The answer was no, and it took him 60 seconds to come to that conclusion? That man's lying. There it is. That man's lying. It should be an instant no. I mean, it ain't like they said, well, how many times you've been to the cabin with her? Maybe you might have to go, one, two, maybe three. Have you ever been to a cabin with her? At that point, no. I know what a cabin is. Yeah, I will remember that. No. But that guy, 60 seconds. And yet the judge, all of these very obvious signs must have not been convincing enough.
I'm incredibly grateful for the last year I've been able to do this. I took this job not because I wanted to score partisan political points, didn't go looking for the spotlight. I did it because I love the law and giving people their day in court and being efficient about it. So, Jonathan, there will be speculation that this was a political move on his part. It's the easier road for him to take in many ways to lead Fanni Willis in this spot. But judging based on what you watched in the courtroom.
So he wanted to go ahead and shoot the deer but not kill it. Yeah, you're the hunter, all right. I'm hunting a deer. I really am. I don't want to kill it, but I do want to say that I shot a deer. I want to be able to boast that, look me, I shot a deer. I wounded it. But when you walk up on it, and is still looking at you, you don't have the guts to pull the trigger. Now, somebody else do it. I can't do it. Well, either shoot the deer or not. Put it out of its misery or not. Don't wound it and just leave it out there. Yeah, that's what he did. He was like, I'm a wounder. And then let somebody else shoot her. And now I can't look her in the eyes. And my neighbor, he gave me some Venice about 3 or 4 months ago. No, actually, he shot a turkey with an arrow. And he thought it killed the turkey. So he walked up, on the turkey. And when he looked at the turkey, rolled it over, and the turkey was still alive. And it gave him the look with that turkey eyeball. Like, you gonna do this right in front of me? You gonna look me in my eyes when you shoot me? He said he was struggling. He was, oh, God. Oh, shooting it far away was easy. Now I gotta look the turkey in his eyes. Like, sorry, pal. Yeah. But if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do the damage, do it all the way. Don't half-butt it. So this guy went ahead and he just shot the deer, but now somebody else, take her out, hopefully.
Do you think that's fair?
Well, I have to say that I've been praising the judge, and I still believe that he has conducted himself in a fair and professional way. I think that this does take an element of courage for an elected state judge.
Which he has none.
Many people in Fulton County are not going to like the fact that he just disqualified Wade and gave credence to this theory of an improper relationship, an appearance issue that does touch upon Willis in her office.
Nobody will ever believe that she's legit. Nobody. And nobody will ever believe this judge is legit now. I mean, if I go in his courtroom, I'm side-eyeing him. If I'm the defendant, I'm looking at him like, so you're going to make the decision based on the facts, or are you going to go ahead and, because I saw what you did with the Fanni Willis case. I don't know what you were looking at. So I can't trust your judgment, man. But hey, I guess he wants us to all respect it. He was just following the details, and that's all he ever wanted to do was just uphold the law.
That's all for the good. The problem is the disjointed aspect of the opinion itself. It doesn't really hold together that well. The big question was, what is the standard? Is it just an appearance, or do you have to show an actual conflict? He indicates that he believes it is indeed the appearance standard. Well, if that's the case, I don't see how Willis could escape disqualification.
Thank you. I mean, everything about that appearance is horrific. She started off suspect. When the rumor hit, this chick never even addressed it. Her first decision was to go up in the church and whine about it. Right off grip, I'm like, oh, and then started off lying about it. They just coming after me because he a black man and I'm a black woman trying to save the planet, I guess. And I'm sitting there listening to this. I'm going, that's guilt. All the way. Suspect. Can't trust a word this chick is saying. Period. But when the case was brought, already knew it was suspect. Right off grip. I mean, who brings this? Her and the other three. All of them. Jack Smith, Queen Latifah, Fat Albert, all of them have coordinated this mess. So all of these cases are bogus. They're all jerry-rigged and Frankensteined together. All of them. And all you got to do is peel back a couple layers and you'll find Joe Biden's under it. Or dang on, what's his name? Mayor Garlick. Somebody is under this. But they just pick sloppy DAs because most people with integrity won't bring this stupidity. So they picked a sloppy, corrupt chick, and now she got him in a jam.
Many people believe that both of these prosecutors lied on the stand, that there were false statements submitted to courts.
Oh, yes.
The key about that is Willis and Wade are prosecuting people in this case for that very conduct.
Well, why should we believe anything she says? How's she going to get up there now after all of this? After the report that the judge then issued, but didn't get rid of her tail, talking about, are you lying? Okay, because see, I want to know, first of all, are you lying to the courts? Perjury is who would even respect that? How's she going to try anything? Man, I would be sitting up there in the witness chair, like, well, who are you to ask me anything about? I saw you. I would be flipping the questions back there. You just answer the question. I'm not the one on trial. No, you should be. Yeah, it takes one to know one. Yeah. Be doing all of that to her. I'd be going, no, you lying. You lying. Yeah, look at it. I will be doing everything she did when she was on the stand.
And so it's hard to see how Willis continuing the case does not undermine it in the eyes of the public and hurts the case overall.
Yeah.
In some ways, this result may actually appeal to Trump and his defendants. They established that there was an improper relationship, at least for the purposes of disqualification, and they left a wounded Willis to continue on in the case.
So she's limping now, but she should be put out of her miseries. She should be old yellered. So you're telling me then that you found enough evidence to remove the special prosecutor. So you got that much evidence to where you say, well, you know what? That's an appearance of conflict of interest, even though I won't say it is. But it's enough for me to say, remove this man off the case. But not enough to say that it has the appearance of impropriety to where they all should be removed. Fanny, everything. The scrap it all. From the rooter to the tutor. How do you justify that? So if anything, you should have just said neither one of them. They both can stay. Because when you say one got to go, what you're basically saying is guilt. I find enough evidence to where one of them got to go. So then the question obviously is, well, why not the other one? If you found that much guilt, then get them both off. Boy, I tell you, man.
And she will stand accused of false statements as she prosecutes others for that type of conduct. And keep in mind, there are state efforts now to fully investigate this, including possible bar issues.
Yeah, the Georgia Senate has opened its own investigation. It's a great point because legally now the Trump team has the option to question her credibility all throughout the course of this based on some of what we've seen so far in this. So.
Yeah, so
question the heck out of her.
The wheels haven't fallen off entirely, but they sure are wobbly at the moment.
Oh yeah, she's riding around like she's riding around with two wheels perhaps. But hey, she's still riding, and that's the problem. All four wheels should have been blown out.
Morrow by telephone joins us now. And Paul, good morning to you. You just heard Jonathan mention the other investigation that's currently underway. The Senate in Georgia has its own investigation going, and the governor could weigh in as well. And where did those stand?
Yeah, where's the governor? Where's the governor? The weak, jelly-backed spine governor. Where's he on this? Probably still hoping Trump takes it to the chin. Boy.
Well, that is the real danger here, I would say, for the judge, because the Senate can always subpoena documents. And if at some point the Senate goes so far in their investigation as to go beyond interviewing witnesses and looking at what's already been unearthed and manages to get themselves to the reportedly 10,000 text messages, 10,000 of the 12,000 contacts that Willis and Wade ostensibly had in 2021 are text messages.
Ooh, now you're talking. So you telling me if the Senate in Georgia subpoena all those text messages, and it shows that she was like, how you doing, Nathan? What you doing tonight? Nothing. Why don't you sweet through? Okay. I'm on my way, fat Fanny. Now, if those come out, what is this going to do? Especially for the judge who act like, well, you know what? I don't have enough evidence. There's nothing suspicious about 10,000 messages. So now, what is that going to do for this judge's reputation?
If the Senate ultimately, that is the Georgia State Senate, ultimately gets to that material and gets that content, then there's a very good chance here, in my opinion, that we're going to see the kind of content that demonstrates that there was indeed a relationship that the two of them have denied.
And how? Now it's coming down to common sense. See, you expect one of the greatest elements that a judge has to have is common sense. You don't want a bubblehead judge on the seat. You don't want a naive judge on the seat. You don't want a judge that can't read people, situations, can't put context clues together, don't have common sense. So now, if this comes out that all of those chats were evidence and proofs, because we all know, only way you're going to have that many text messages and phone calls with somebody is if you're romantically involved. We all know that. But I guess the judge didn't take that into consideration. So now what that would do is show, well, wait a minute. You knew about these phone calls, you knew about these text messages, and you still made this decision as if none of that stuff weighed in on it. You never considered that, or you overlooked it on purpose. Because now I got to question your common sense. When you found out that, wait a minute, hold on, back in the day, they made that many phone calls and text? Oh, they lying to us. So now, what would happen if this comes out? Now you got to look at that and try to make an excuse of why you didn't piece that together. Everybody going to be going, we all knew that this was a relationship just based on how many text messages and phone calls. Now we got the evidence, but you ruled like a dummy. You ruled like a man without common sense. You ruled like a man who couldn't put that together. See? So now I got to question every judgment from you. I expect the judge to have enough common sense.
And that actually could arise during this prosecution, in which case Judge McCaffrey is going to be looking at a situation where everything he just exonerated Willis on is going to be glaringly obvious, and he's going to have to revisit the same issues.
Yep. So what it would look like is he got duped. He would look like a judge that they pulled a fast one on. That's what it would look like. Everybody be going, how'd they get that one over on you? Huh? I thought you was a judge that was hard hitting, was able to put it all together, but they fooled you, they tricked you. They didn't trick nobody else but you. Everybody else knew that they were lying and had a relationship, but so you got tricked that easily? You couldn't sit back and piece that together? You couldn't say, well, you know what? Maybe we should look into all of those phone calls and text messages. Maybe I should extend this. Maybe I should allow the defense to go ahead and subpoena some of this stuff, because now what it's going to look like is that you got duped. You let them off the hook. They lied to you and got away with it. Thanks, Judge. But we all know they lied to him and got away with it. So just subpoenaing that would only just simply destroy the rest of his reputation. But boy, I tell you, now he's looking dumb. And he's sitting back probably hoping they don't subpoena those things. Like, boy, then that'll look like either I bent the knee and let him off, or I don't have enough common sense to know that all of that stuff was proof that these two were lying about when this relationship started.
And as Jonathan said, there's going to be a lot of question about how he could manage to split the baby here.
And that's exactly what he tried to do. You can kiss the baby. Yeah, that man tried to split that baby in half. Like, okay, one for you, one for you. I'm going to go ahead and try to appease all of the, I ain't going to even say MAGA or Republicans, all of the people with common sense, along with appeasing all of the radical never Trumpers. We want to get Trump. All of these folks. I'm trying to go ahead and give both sides a little red meat. But you can't do it, man. When it comes down to something this crucial, you are either going to destroy the integrity of our court system with this raggedy decision, or you're going to uphold it and restore some type of integrity to it. And you chose this. You decided, yep, I'm going to go ahead and in my cowardness make a decision where the majority of people who watch this going to say, see, that's why we don't trust the system. That's why we can't put our faith in this. Why are we able to conclude all of this stuff and this judge can't conclude this?
Say that, okay, I'm going to knock out Wade and keep Willis.
Yeah, I do think we should
Uh-oh. So you know it's bad. Now, I do like this guy on CNN. He's been kind of pretty fair and balanced. Not these jokers right there. but their little political analyst right here. Let's see what he got to say about this.
Iterate based on I think, how we are all pointing out the language in this ruling. The breaking news is that Fanni Willis can't stay on the case. She has not been disqualified. And if you want to get a sense of whether that's a winner or...
And that burdens me up. She thinks she got over. This dirty, corrupt, stinking chick who probably done locked so many people up for garbage. She thinks she got over. Yeah, they thought they was going to get me. I mean, whoever is protecting her, man, they all need to go down, man. I mean, it burns me up to see people this blatantly corrupt get in there, lie, beat the system, attack others, prosecute others, abuse their power, and then get away with it. Get away with it. Joe Biden, I'm exonerated, didn't do nothing. Hillary Clinton, all of them. Just get away with it. But so Fat Fanny is still on the loose. But this guy's about to say, yeah, but she's pretty wounded.
A loss for her. It's Donald Trump's lawyer that slammed the judge. Our Kristen Holmes just reported that Stephen Sadow said the judge did not afford appropriate significance to the prosecutorial misconduct of Willis. So Trump's legal team not happy with this. That being said, Ellie Honig, you've been pouring through this ruling.
So if I'm the DA, I'm taking this as a win. It is a win. She has survived.
That's all she did. Survived. By the grace, mercy, and corruption of this judge. Now, I'm not saying he's fully corrupt, but in this decision, he was corrupt. He's been corrupted somewhere, even if nobody got to him. His own just internal self-preservation and fear of an observation of the political climate could have gotten to him. Psychologically, subconsciously, helped him formulate this. He probably was fighting with his common sense and that built in, oh God, what could happen to me if I, you know what, how can I straddle the fence on this one? How can I straddle the fence on this one? Well, it's over, man. It's over. We right at this point, throw him over the fence. The left can have him now. He's tainted.
That is the most important thing here. I'd be breathing a sigh of relief. But Sarah earlier said there's some bruising involved. Wow, is there some bruising? Let me just give you the seven most severe lines. And these are really serious findings by the judge about the DA. And these are all verbatim from...
Now check this out. What this guy's about to do is show us how the system works. 7. Now understand, what he's about to do is what we saw do the other day when he came to the Capitol. He went ahead, presented his case, all of this information, and then at the end of the day say, well, I mean, I find no reason. So listen to this, guys, but yet the judge somehow, no conflict of interest.
In the opinion, first of all, there's a, quote, significant appearance of impropriety.
Significant appearance of impropriety. Now I'm thinking, what, isn't the bars just like the appearance? The appearance? I mean, if that's the case, if you're saying significant, just that term alone
infects the prosecution team. Second, a tremendous lack in judgment. Third, the unprofessional manner of the DA's testimony.
Unprofessional manner of the DA's testimony. But I guarantee you, she's going to demand that anybody that come up there when she's prosecuting them better show respect to the court. Better not get up there shaking papers in people's face telling them you're lying. Better not come in there starting demanding, I need this and that, and you got the and this and that. Better not do that. See, Fanny gets in there and do all of that stupidity and gets away with it. So the judge recognized it, but hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to tell everybody that I noticed what you all noticed too. You probably shouldn't have said nothing. This makes it worse. When you sit back and highlight all of this and then come to the dumb conclusion that she shouldn't be removed from the case.
Fourth, the odor of mendacity remains. I Googled mendacity. It means lying.
Lying. So you just smelt it, but you can't tell where the smell's coming from? Say, if I come in the house and I smell chicken, I'm expecting to go into the kitchen and see some chicken. Dang, I know what chicken smell like. All black folks know what chicken smell like. When I was in high school, I had a little thing for this one girl. They must have cooked fried chicken every single day. She smelled like chicken all the time. like she took a bath in chicken. Man, I was like, geez, oh man, do y'all eat anything else but fried chicken? Dang on it. Yeah. So the chicken smell usually led to some chicken somewhere. And this guy's up there, I smell lion, but I'm assuming there's no lies. I just smell it in the atmosphere. Wow. Why even make the statement?
Fifth.
New order. That's what it is.
Fifth, the legally improper speech that was made in the church that Laura just talked about, legally improper with the effect to cast racial aspersions on the defendants.
Legally improper. Got ahead of it just to let y'all all know that this ain't a real legitimate case they trying to bring on me, okay? All this stuff, no. It's all motivated by race and stuff like that. Even though I'm in a pulpit, and I'm not going to tell y'all that the man that I'm sitting here defending trying to say it's all because he's a black man. And they ain't saying nothing about these two white folks. Well, you're not sleeping with those two white folks. Didn't tell your church audience that? Huh? Trying to taint the opinion of the public, get ahead of it. But yet the judge highlights that and continues.
Sixth, the DA has created dangerous waters for the DA to wade further into. And finally, and I think this is the most damning, there are reasonable questions about whether the DA testified untruthfully.
Reasonable questions. Whether she testified untruth, in other words, whether she lied, she did lie. You know she lied. She went ahead and embarrassed you because you have no spine. Lied and got away with it. Lied straight to your face, judge. But you out there like, come on, I'll take on all of you. Oh, you're cowardly lying. And she got away with lying to the cowardly lying. Unbelievable. So all you can do is say there's reasonable concern that she was untruthful. Well, what do you mean? Either pull the trigger or not. Either she lied or she didn't. Because it's going to make you look real dumb when it all comes out eventually and we all going, well, we knew she was lying. Yeah, what kind of judge are you? I mean, it was obvious to us, but you're supposed to be a judge with common sense.
One of these statements by a judge would be a career ender. For a normal prosecutor to have an on-the-record finding that there are reasonable questions about whether you lied under oath, that would be devastating. And
so to any other prosecutor, this report would be career ending. But when you are a fake, bootleg, corrupt, Democrat appointed prosecutor backed by a corrupt party who's trying to get Trump, somehow you slide. Just him saying that alone lets everybody know there's an exception made for her. I mean, she's one of the dirtiest prosecutors, and I don't know a whole bunch of them, but it's been brought out. She's walking around with mud all over her dress thinking she's fresh. Talking about, don't I look pretty? Don't I look good? You're covered in mud. What are you talking about? Got your hand on your hip and stuff. Looking like a dirt ball. Dang on it. So yeah, anybody else would have took it to the chin, just like Joe Biden. He would have been thrown in the slammer. His son would have been thrown in the slammer. Let me see, Hillary Clinton would have been thrown in the slammer. James Comey would have been thrown in the slammer. Obama would have been thrown in the slammer. A whole bunch of Democrats that's been all trying to get Trump would have been thrown in the slammer if we had a legit justice system. But hey, hopefully we can get in and drain the swamp, because we can't survive as a country when stuff like this is allowed.
we'll see what the political effects will be. The bottom line, the DA survives, but not without serious bruising, to use your analogy, sir.
And guys, we're going to end with this. Alan Dershowitz called it last night. I was up last night right before I tuckered out, and I happened to watch Alan Dershowitz, his assessment on what could happen. And by golly, this man nailed it. That's why he's a brilliant scholar when it comes down to politics and constitution, all this stuff. Listen to how accurate this man called this the night before the verdict came out.
Paul Sperry, we've had him on the show before. He does these deep investigations for Real Clear. He's sent out a couple of tweets citing a source close to the judge. Now, we don't know whether this person actually is in a position to know what the judge is thinking, but the second tweet, we brought the first one to our audience last week. The second Paul Sperry tweet reads as follows. Judge McAfee views cell phone data and the Terrence Bradley texts as suggestive but not dispositive, or as enough proof to settle the matter.
Now, right there, whoever this source is she's talking about, they said that, now, if that's true, if he's viewing all of these text messages as speculative and all this stuff, that right there lets you know where he was going with his decision. Because I'm sitting here going, okay, for if this is true, if you're looking at that, if it's just speculative, you're finding a way to get out of it. You're looking for an excuse to be dumb. You're sitting there overlooking all of the evidence. Oh, evidence all in your face. But you're trying to find a way to weasel out of it.
According to an Atlanta attorney familiar with his thinking, texts provide no insight into how Terrence Bradley would know, meaning that they had an affair long before 2022.
Texts provide no insight on how Terrence Bradley would know, except for the fact that he was talking to Nathan Wade. They were buddies. Except the fact that he was talking to other witnesses and telling them that. Yeah, but you know what? There's no guarantee how he would know, even though he gave this man his credit card to use to go on a trip with Fanni Willis. The text messages don't prove anything. So once again, he already started to let everybody know, if this was true, whoever was getting his insight, he was prepping himself to be stupid. He's like, how can I be dumb? I'm going to go ahead and start looking at this like a naive, stupid judge without common sense. That's what I'm going to do.
Did he see them? Wade told him? Now that is an interesting thought, that the judge is getting ready to dismiss evidence of the cell phone data, the many texts between these two long before they admit their affair took place, and the middle of the night visits as the texts seem to...
Now listen to all what she's saying right there. Now remember, guys, this was before today's verdict. They were talking about this, I think, either last night or the night before. So the judge, was preparing to dismiss all of this, the late night booty calls, the text messages, the somehow roaming around in her neighborhood in the middle of the night. Thank you so much, all of those who's given in the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, I pour my heart and soul in this, man. I'm passionate about this. So thank y'all so much. Now, getting back to this. So yeah, all of that, he's just overlooking it. Now imagine if that was, say, the judge's wife. Well, honey, it looks like you text this man, 2,000 times. Well, circumstantial evidence. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm cheating with him. I mean, we were just talking about how work went and this. That judge would never accept this in any other application as circumstantial evidence. I mean, he would immediately be like, "What do you mean? How many calls? How many text messages? 10,000? Why is the thing binging in? You were in that neighborhood how much? Well, I was shopping for hot dogs, literally. But yet, in this case, well, you know what? I mean, none of that really proves that.
Suggest and so on, and also Bradley's texts to Nathan Wade or to Ashley Merchant saying, it began well before, because he's saying the texts don't actually show Bradley had personal knowledge of it. Could have been speculation.
All because Bradley told you that? Somebody got to him too? But you can't prove that he actually had firsthand knowledge, except for he said he did. But then all of a sudden, when he comes in, he's talking about, shoot. Just the fact that guy, when he was on the witness stand and realized that he was caught, the fact that he himself, under his breath, was like, dang. That lets you know the man was lying. But then he comes out and say, it was speculation. It was speculation? Why would you speculate about that? Why would you speculate about this, knowing that this could damage your boy? And I don't even know why. But I was speculating, and the judge took that. The judge took that answer, I mean, everybody in the whole world watching that was going, this dude's lying. The whole world. But yet the judge, well, there's no proof that, it was speculation because he said it was.
Well, if any of that is true, how do you see it?
That's just dead wrong. There are people on death row. I have a client in prison on far, far less compelling evidence of pings and tweets and cell towers. She put people in prison based on that. If this judge doesn't conclude beyond any doubt that there was an improper relationship, also, is there any doubt that she never paid back the money? What lawyer who has to comply with ethics rules would ever not have a record of paying back money?
Get him, Alan! See, now, this is a young judge, a whippersnapper, trying to build his reputation, trying to, you know what I'm saying? And then you have a powerhouse like this, a man who got years of experience, a legal scholar, a constitutional scholar, and he's sitting back going, are you kidding me? Now, he already knows that there's Dershowitz. He knows that these two are guilty and lying. And he's sitting back going, man, if this judge comes to a conclusion, this dude has been compromised. So now his prophecy and his speculation about this judge is so accurate. And it came true. His prophecy came true. Continue, Alan.
You have bank deposits, withdrawals, you have a photograph of the money being paid. But for her to make up a story that she paid the money back and has one piece of evidence that once she paid for a wine tasting with cash, there are so many people in prison for long-term on less evidence than that.
And that's what burns me up. So she comes up with some cockamamie story about cash, which is the obvious story that they would both come up with, because anything short of cash puts them in a guilty state of, yep, I benefited off of this. I just went on trips with him and never paid him back, so I benefited off of the money I was paying him. So the only response that they could have, only excuse that they could come up with, was somehow both of them miraculously came in and said cash only, but neither one of us have any evidence to show that. Neither one of us. But wait. To show you that I did pay for some cash, we had went to this wine tasting thing one time, and the waiter, he seen me pay cash right then. He's that shows that I be using cash all the time. Now, Alan is laying this out to show how obvious these two are guilty of this and how dumb you would have to be to believe them. And he's hoping that the judge isn't that dumb. This was before the judge made his decision. He's painting it out there to let us all know that you got to either be corrupt and have a jellyback spine, or you got to be the dumbest, naivest judge ever to buy these people's story.
If this judge doesn't believe that, or says he doesn't believe it, he wouldn't be telling the truth.
Nope.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that this judge sitting there knows absolutely that this affair occurred before.
I love it. Because I said the same thing. There's no way in the world. I mean, when I was watching the case, the trial, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these people fumble through these testimonies, these answers, and I was trying to put myself in the position of the judge. And all I can imagine is the judge is sitting there looking over like, are you kidding me? Are y'all trying to feed me this doo-doo and trying to tell me it's chocolate? Because that's how I was feeling watching it on TV. I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? You know how obvious it is that these people. So even if you got to have the poker face as the judge, in your head, you have to be like, cash, huh? They need more Quran. Uh-huh. Yeah, so let me get this straight. You say you paid cash, huh? Everything you bought was with cash, huh? No receipts, no deposits, right? Okay. Uh-huh. They need Uncle Ron. He wouldn't have been able to have the poker face. He would have been up there right there letting them know, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, man. Shaking the head the whole time. Like when I tried to get in the club at 16, me and my boy went up to Cleveland, Ohio and got us some bootleg fake IDs. Now that I look back, I'm like, what kind of shite did I purchase? It was so obvious that these were fake IDs. And here we are going to try to get into a club with them. All right, let's go. Here we go. And all I remember is this big black bouncer at the door. So we go up there. We ain't even confident. We go up there. IDs. Here you go. That dude looked at that ID, looked at us. Come on, man. Start shaking his head. And we went to trying to explain. And the whole time, his eyes was closed, his head was straight up in the air, and he wasn't hearing nothing we had to say. He was like, the whole time. And we up here talking, but see, He wasn't trying to hear one thing we were saying. He knew we were lying. Like, dude, everything about this ID, everything you try to tell me is a lie. And I'm not going to sit back and entertain you like, okay, well, listen, still no. He was like, man, don't try to feed me this crap. No. And was pointing like, go. And we had to walk away with our tails between our legs. Drove all the way up to Akron, Ohio for nothing. Couldn't even get in the club. But yeah, that's what that judge should have been doing. He should have been looking over at these two going, But instead, what happens?
That the money wasn't paid back, that they committed perjury, that they conspired to commit perjury. But judges sometimes pretend that they don't believe testimony or believe testimony in order to spare themselves. He doesn't want to look the elected DA in the eye and say, you're a perjurer, you should be in prison. But
in other words, man, Alan, you were dead on. In other words, he don't want to look the deer in the eyes when he's shooting. That's what it was. Yeah, you got to pretend. Yeah, just like that dude, that the report that she just said where he was like, all right, there's no real evidence that he had direct evidence. And then those phone calls and all of that. So now you got to pretend that all of that stuff isn't evidence. You got to sit back and go, I need more evidence. I could figure out a way to sound dumb. I could figure out a way to try to straddle this fence and dismiss this. So now, once again, I shot the deer, but don't want to walk up on it and finish it off. So now he comes out, shoots Fanni Willis with all of these accusations, these damning reports, and all right, I find him this and this and that, but didn't have the guts to go, and guess what? You're taking off this case. You know why? Because you perjured yourself. You're a liar. Oh, yeah, he ain't had the guts, because you already know the heat is on. I can't believe you called this black woman a liar. It's obvious he's a white nationalist, racist, xenophobe. He's a homophobe and all the other phobes we could think of. Misogynist. So he didn't want to take that heat. So somebody else do it. Here, you take the gun, take the gun. Well, don't give me the gun. You the one shot the deer. I know, but I don't want to, I can't look. It's looking at me. It's looking at me, man. You go ahead. So that's what he's doing. He's like, somebody else do it.
But there's absolutely no doubt that there's enough here to disqualify. And if he doesn't disqualify, this whole case will be subject to all kinds of criticism, not only in the court of public opinion, but in the courts of law as well. I hope the judge does the right thing. But I said from the beginning, I don't think he will.
Alan, boy, he's good. Boy, he's good. Now, this was before the decision. He's like, I hope he do the right thing. But I just don't think he will. Not too many people have the courage enough to do that. But let's continue.
I don't think he has the guts. Yeah. I don't think he has the courage to tell the truth. And I think he'll find a way to weasel out of this thing to say, oh, well, the cell tower, who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes?
There you go. Forget all that cell tower data that she used to lock other people up. Forget the fact that she lied to you, but yet lock other people up for it. Forget all of that. Alan, you're dead on, buddy. Boy, man, let's continue, because he called it.
She and he had an affair before they were appointed. That is absolutely clear. And her testimony under oath is perjury. The evidence is overwhelming as to that. And if the judge pretends not to believe it, there's a bridge in Brooklyn that I could sell him as well.
Well, go get that bridge, Alan, because he's dead on. If he pretends to not see it. Now, I'm thinking, I should get paid to be a judge. I'm sitting there going, no, wait a minute. They paid this man for this? He gets paid to make decisions? Look, I got to do jury duty on April the 1st. First time ever. You know, I mean, people whine about doing jury duty and stuff like that. And all my life, I've never been called for jury duty. So I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, what's wrong with me? You know, on one end, you're like, I hope I don't get called for jury duty. But then when they don't call you, like, wait a minute. Why is everybody else getting called for jury duty and I'm not? Well, I finally got called for jury duty. And then it hit me, the weight of it. I'm saying, wow, I'm going to be sitting amongst people making a decision that can alter a person's whole life. Yeah, I can't be reckless with that decision. I can't be a bubblehead. I can't be naive. I can't dismiss evidence. I can't compromise my common sense. I can't allow politics to get in the way. I can't, because I am actually making a decision that can impact a whole human's life. So it's a heavy thing. It's a heavy burden to bear. And I don't even know what I'm going in for. I don't know what this person did, but I got to go in and make a decision based on whatever is presented to me. Now, if I overlook all of that stuff because I'm going, well, he's black, or I mean, he looks cool, or she's a hot chick, or whatever, I'm doing jury duty and my responsibility a disservice. A disservice. So I am technically being placed in the position of a judge. See, so you don't want a judge in there that overlooks all the obvious evidence and concludes what this guy concluded when everybody else is going, are you kidding me?
It will be a disgrace to the judicial system.
And it is a disgrace.
If she's allowed to continue. It's a disgrace to the legal system if she's not disbarred and not put in jail. And I hope the people of Fulton County have enough sense to throw her out of office, at least when it comes to an election.
Woo, Alan, that man, he's pulling the trigger. There it is. That's who should have been sitting up there looking at these two lie. Yeah, he's willing to pull the trigger. It's a disgrace. So not only does she need to be kicked off the case, she should be disbarred and brought up on perjury charges. Thank you, Alan, for saying what the judge with the jelly spine couldn't say.
Also, I think his dismissal of the 6 counts basically was a message. See, I'm fair. I don't rule in favor of her every time. I took that dismissal of the 6 counts as a signal that he was not going to disqualify the whole office.
Me too. Everybody was celebrating it. And I'm going, It appears that he's trying to throw us a little red meat. Trying to whet our palate, satisfy. It's like, look what? No, look at me. I'm doing stuff. When he did that, I was concerned about it. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Why not just hold it all? Why not hold all the ammunition for your final decision? But now you're going to go ahead. Look, I'm shooting at the deer. I'm shooting at the deer. I'm just letting you know I'm shooting it. Now, Alan now has a responsibility to do what the judge couldn't do. Walk up on the deer, look it in the eyes and say, sorry, buddy. Bang! So Alan is doing he's saying the right thing. He's like, yo, man, this guy should have pulled the trigger. So here we go.
Otherwise, he would have waited to see whether the new office was going to stand by that or maybe re-indict. So I think that your source is probably correct. And, I think it was Levin on Fox News who called me the Nostradamus of lawyers, because I get my predictions right all the time because I don't make predictions based on wishful thinking.
Yeah.
So my prediction.
His prediction came true. Hey, somebody did say that they screen you first. I know, yeah. Now that's going to be interesting. I wonder what kind of questions they're going to ask me. Do you support President Trump? Maybe. I'm like, yes. How do you feel about Antifa? They should all be locked up. That's how I feel. Well, let's get this drawer off because there's an Antifa in here who's on trial. It's going to be interesting. But I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest about whatever questions they ask me. All right, let's continue.
Here is that he's going to figure out a way of not completely and totally disqualifying them. Maybe he'll say there's an appearance, but the appearance isn't enough under the law. But whatever he says, if he suggests that you can believe anything she said, he should not be on the bench.
Oh, Now that hurts coming from a powerhouse like this. I hope this judge one day looks at this interview and says, oh, that's how Alan Dershowitz sees me. And that's exactly what I did. I walked right into his prophecy. That's what I did. He said, I don't think he's going to do the right thing. I don't think he has the courage to do it. If he does not dismiss this case, he shouldn't be on the bench. And I did exactly what he assumed I would do. There you have it. And I'm pretty sure he probably respects Alan Dershowitz. Now, anybody that has been in law that long and has integrity, they're all looking at this judge the same way. See, so he should be losing respect amongst any prosecutor, any lawyer, any legal scholar that has integrity. He should lose all respect. His next case should be like, man, how can we trust you? How can we trust your judgment? And the same thing with Fanni Willis. She should be gone. And then he concludes with this.
Because he would not be telling the truth. He does not believe her. I guarantee you, he's smart enough. Do you know anybody who actually, even CNN, many of their legal commentators who were always wrong say they didn't believe her. They didn't believe her. There's not enough here to disqualify, but we don't believe her. If you don't believe her, she's committed perjury.
Thank you. So what he's saying is this judge has been gotten to. He might get up there and write whatever he wrote. Oh, well, there's not enough, but he's lying. He's doing what she's doing. That dude knows that these two are liars. He knows that they colluded together to come up with this fake behind story about cash only. He knows that their relationship started way before he was appointed special prosecutor. He knows all of that. Yeah. And then he's trying to go ahead and highlight these things that he says, these aren't, I'm not able to make a decision on all of this common sense, overwhelming evidence over here. So he's lying. He's taking the cowardly way out. But he's going to go ahead and dismiss six things, and then write a damning report. Just to wound her, but I'm not going to walk up and shoot her. That's what I'm not going to do. Metaphorically, just letting everybody know. I'm not encouraging that Fanni Willis gets shot. It's a metaphor about deer hunting and an analogy to show the cowardness of this judge.
And if you don't believe both of them, they've committed perjury, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy to commit perjury. Again, let me emphasize one more time. She put people in prison on less evidence than is now against her. What hypocrisy.
Thank you. And now he's releasing her to do it again. There you go. I know she's lying to me. I'm going to go ahead and take that disrespect. I'm going to go ahead, compromise my integrity, look stupid in front of everybody with integrity, and unleash her to go out and probably boast about how she got away with it. Probably going to go ahead and blame Trump and all of his white nationalists that tried to get her. They came after me because I'm doing the right thing. They came after me because I'm a black woman trying to hold up the rule of law. And going to get out there and continue to hold everybody else to a standard that she herself is not being held to. And this judge did that. That's why he's garbage. Cowardly lying. And Dershowitz called it.
I think all the signs point in that direction, and all the law and the facts point in the opposite direction. But I don't think this judge is going to do justice in this case. I think he is going to figure out a way of not having her disqualified. Look, the worst
What
thing
about Nathan Wade, though? What about Nathan? Yeah, I know you won't go as far as say Fanni and then off.
This going to show just how accurate he is, y'all. Man, he's on it. So he said that all of the evidence is very clear, but he don't think the judge is going to do the right thing. Then she asked him about Nathan Wade. And remember, guys, this was before the decision came out.
Office, but what about Nathan Wade?
That's easy. He could say, look, the appearance of justice, I recommend strongly that he be taken off the case so that the appearance of injustice disappears. That would be
wow. Alan, you should have been the judge in this case, because that's exactly what he did. He went ahead, took out the low-hanging fruit. Yeah, her lover boy is expendable. Just get rid of him. Yeah, get rid of him, and we'll go ahead and call it even. Boy, he's good.
Easy call for him, but would have no impact on the case. Look, the worst thing that ever happened to American judicial system is election of judges, election of prosecutors. We're the only country in the world, in the Western world, that elects judges and prosecutors. And the politics obviously play a role in all of these decisions. Again, that's my judgment. I don't have enough to make a firm prediction, but I hope he rules the other way, but I often predict against my own wishes. So that's my prediction.
All right.
And it was dead on. Boy, he nailed it. Right on, because that's exactly what the judge did. So, guys, there you have it. That is the ruling of the cowardly judge. There it is. And so hopefully his career tanks, and hopefully some justice is brought to Fanni Willis so she don't ride off into the sunset boasting about how she got away with the crime. Burns me up. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Thank y'all for all the comments. Thank y'all for the support. Everyone who gave in the super chat. Those that are choosing to give in other ways, I appreciate it. Hit the like button as we leave. What is it you got in your face, Gizmo? Anyway, and I will be back Monday. So like I said, sorry about yesterday, man. I was just too tired, y'all. Working a full-time grown man job. Yeah, whew, I tell you. Yeah, it'll wear on you, but it keeps me focused and keeps me in shape. Yeah, I don't want to turn into a couch potato, so it's good. Gets me out the house and makes me do some things, but it also sometimes I'm just a little too tired. But on an average, I'm going to be here Monday through Friday. Don't panic if I miss a day every once in a while. You'll know probably why. But 2 days, come find me. So you can do that by texting 330-974-4607. Text MAGA to that number. And then also you can check out Kevin's Corner Store if you can. You can also support me that way. And then you can also donate to the channel through my monthly fundraiser. Subscribe to my alternative channel. Follow me on Twitter, all the other social media platforms. And we'll see y'all Monday in Kevin's Corner. I had to put aside some of the stuff I was going to talk about today based on this verdict. So we'll cover that on Monday. So God bless y'all. God bless America. See y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Let's bounce. All city. Yeah. God bless.